Hey, gang. Hello, hello. Welcome to the SiriusXM headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. Chuck and Nancy and Tammy and Cynthia, the gang is all here. Good. We're ready to rock and roll. How about giving the gift of headline entertainment this holiday season? Purchase gift cards for concerts and comedy at the Excite Center, the Liberty Bell Beer Garden, the Parks Grill Steakhouse, and more, all at Parks Casino, my casino of choice. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Pennsylvania's number one casino, right in the Philly burbs, less than 2 hours from New York, so close to northern and southern New Jersey. I said before, what great stocking stuffers Excite Center tickets will provide. So many great acts are coming up. SNL's Colin Jost returns in March. I saw Colin Jost at the Excite Center just last spring. Cole Swindell has just been announced. The reggae sounds of Shaggy, actor Richard Kind from Curb, Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains, magician Michael Carbonaro, country star Lee Brice. They're all coming. You can enjoy dinner and drinks before the show at the Liberty Bell Gastro Pub, the Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House, parkscasino.com. Buy tickets for all the shows. Parks Casino. This is how you win. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Poll results from yesterday, the poll question of the day at Smerconish.com. We had 29,797 cast ballots. Do you agree with the acquittal of Daniel Penny in the New York City chokehold case? 71.39% said that they did. I don't think that the calls were as lopsided. A lot of the calls on yesterday's radio program were calls saying some punishment should have followed, but they didn't want a severe punishment for Daniel Penny. I noted yesterday in a conversation with Danny Savalos that what was interesting is that the jury was locked on the more serious charge of manslaughter. And on Friday, the judge dismissed that charge. They came back on criminal negligence on Monday. And as I've been saying, some individual or some group of individuals among those jurors was ready to convict Penny on the more serious offense. But by the time they came back on Monday, they folded the 10 on everything. You would think that if there were some of a mindset to convict on the more serious charge, they would have held firm on the lesser charge, but they didn't. Okay, today's poll question at Smerconish.com. Love this. Great conversation starter. Does Donald Trump's impact on the news and our lives in 2024 warrant him being named Time Person of the Year? I worded it as such because if I simply said, should Donald Trump be the Time Person of the Year, many people hear that and they think that it's an honorific, like it's a good thing. Hey, do we want to give him this award? But it's not necessarily a good thing. It is for good or ill. It's all about impact on the news. Caitlin Clark was just named Athlete of the Year for 2024. I can't imagine there's a dispute about that. Time pointing out that in February, she set the new NCAA Division I women's basketball scoring record. And then she went on to break Hall of Famer Pete Maravich's mark, making her the top scorer overall. Her college championship game between Iowa and South Carolina averaged 18.9 million viewers. I know that I've never tuned in for a women's basketball game until Caitlin Clark. So I can attest to that. The WNBA attracted an all-time record of more than 54 million unique viewers across all its national broadcasting platforms during the regular season. The league's overall attendance jumped by 48%. Again, impact. It's not just that she had the numbers. A lot of players have had the numbers. I don't think that Pistol Pete Maravich was ever under serious consideration to be the Time Person of the Year, but she had an impact on the sport and on attendance. And so that's what's key to have in mind as you think about this. The Time Person of the Year is officially the person or persons who most affected the news and our lives for good or ill and embodied what was important about the year. In the past, they started in 1927. It was Lucky Lindbergh. So Charles Lindbergh was the first. 1936, Wallace Simpson. Do you remember? Come on, you watched The Crown, right? 23 American presidents. In the World War II era, it went Hitler, Stalin, Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin again. 3 popes. 1979, it was the Iranian supreme leader, right? The Iran hostages. I remember the controversy in 2001 because who most impacted the news? I said then it had to be bin Laden. In 2001, it wasn't. It was Rudy Giuliani. It was Rudy Giuliani. How the mighty have fallen. And I thought that was a total capitulation on the part of Time magazine, because as between Giuliani and bin Laden, Giuliani did a wonderful job for New York City in the aftermath of what happened on 9/11. But you can't say that Giuliani's leadership was more significant than what bin Laden did, as god-awful and atrocious as it was. Last year, it was Taylor Swift. So this could be a head fake, but Time magazine said, here are our 10 finalists in alphabetical order by last name. Let me just switch screens here. And all right, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Can you say that Kamala Harris, if Kamala Harris had won the election, then I'd say it's Kamala Harris, but she didn't win the election. She lost to Trump. She conceded the race. She and Biden shared the distinction of Person of the Year cover in 2020, the year that they defeated Trump and Mike Pence. Okay, Kate Middleton. I'm an admirer of the Princess of Wales, but did she impact the news and our lives more than anybody? No. Fighting cancer, Godspeed to her. I'm all for Kate. Elon Musk. If there weren't Donald Trump, and if you looked at Musk by Neuralink, X, SpaceX standards, yeah, I think he deserves serious consideration. He was the Time Person of the Year in 2021. So maybe they don't want to go back in that direction. Okay, I'm going to struggle with this name, and you'll be honest. You'll be honest in your comments and tell me if you even know who I'm talking about. Yulia Navalnaya. Jesus, I just screwed it up again. Yulia, Yulia, Navalnaya, Russian economist who has been in the spotlight this year after her husband and the country's leading dissident, Alexei Navalny, died in February. If it were Navalny, I think we'd be having more of a serious conversation, but it's not. It's his widow. Benjamin Netanyahu, yeah, I mean, Netanyahu deserves serious consideration, for better or for worse, given what 2024 has consisted of. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been one of the most influential and controversial world leaders this year, defying criticism of his war on Hamas, the terror organization that killed 1,200. He continued his military assault on the Gaza Strip, even as the death toll rose to 44,000, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now taking out Iranian leadership, Hezbollah leadership, Hamas leadership. I think Netanyahu deserves serious consideration. Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed since 2018, serving under both Trump and Biden. Interest rates have been a big part of the narrative of 2024. I get it, but no. Joe Rogan. No. Rogan had influence. He had influence in this election, especially in the 11th hour. He's representative of a whole new era of media. I get that, but no, he did not impact things more than Donald Trump. Claudia Sheinbaum made history as Mexico's first ever female president. No. Mark Zuckerberg, again, very influential. He was the Time Person of the Year in 2010. But no, if you're really, I feel the same way. I'm not equating Trump with bin Laden. Don't go there. Don't excerpt the tape. But in the same way that I said, if you're being honest about who most impacted the news, just as it was bin Laden in 2001, it was Donald Trump in this year. And I mean, my God, think about it. The 2 impeachments, the 4 indictments, the 1 conviction, the fact that he in the civil judgments owes more than $500 million, written off by many in the aftermath of January 6th, comes back and pulls it off. It was again, not heaping praise, but giving him credit. It was the greatest political turnaround that I've ever witnessed. So how could it not be Trump? Do I think they'll give it to Trump? No, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. But in terms of answering my poll question today, again, how did I word it? Does Donald Trump's impact on the news and our lives in 2024 warrant him being named the Time Person of the Year? So I did not word it as will they, but more of should they? Yeah, by definition, they should. By definition, they should. So this will be really interesting. Go vote at Smerconish.com on today's poll question pertaining to the Time Person of the Year. I don't like when they do the groups. You know, like the Time Person of the Year, it's you. Or the influencers. What have been some of the other group designations? I'm old school. No, it doesn't have to be a man of the year, but a person of the year. Yeah, identify one person. One last thing. I'm 98% sure in what I'm about to tell you. The funny thing about Trump, he has been a Time Person of the Year. But do you remember the stories that were written about his golf club in North Jersey, where someone noted in the locker room that there were these framed images of Donald Trump as the Time Person of the Year? For years, he was not the Time Person of the Year. Like, if I were the Time Person of the Year, yes, I would want that to hang on my wall. Recognizing it's for better or worse, I would still want it to hang on my wall. But in Trump's case, it wasn't enough that he took the legitimate one and hung it in the locker room. Like, he had others fabricated and hung throughout the club. At least that's my recollection. Just crazy. Like, if you really did get the award, the recognition, just hang the original. Hang the original. Okay. Thank you, gang. Go vote at Smerconish.com on today's poll question. Trump, should he be the Time Person of the Year? We find out tomorrow. They announce it during the Today Show. I'll see you on radio. I've got a lot to say today.